Yeah, Gus and Dave show. We are here with Matt Klinger from Sandy Spring Bank. We consider Matt a very, very good friend. He is definitely a special guest on the show. We're very honored and very excited to have him on. We're going to go over a little bit of a history of Sandy Spring. Matt, you're going to give us a little bit of context, a little bit of background, how you got to where you are today, and then, if you don't mind, just go ahead and share with us a little bit about Sandy Spring, what it stands for, and all that good stuff.
So, I'm honored to be here, guys. Thanks for having me. This is going to be fun.
Absolutely.
Sandy Spring Bank is a 152-year-old organization. It was actually founded in Sandy Spring, Maryland. So if you're familiar with the area, if you're taking Route 108 away from Albany towards Columbia, before you hit 650 or New Hampshire Avenue, on your right side, you pass through a little town, and that was the first Sandy Spring Bank.
Wow.
Opened as Sandy Spring Savings and Trust in 1868. To this day, still Sandy Spring. So, a lot of deep-rooted history in this area and community. And one of the goals that Sandy Spring had was to create itself as the #1 community bank in the greater metropolitan area, Maryland, D.C., Northern Virginia, and we just recently achieved that.
Wow.
So now our focus is keeping those community roots and still going strong as a community bank.
Yeah.
So. This is awesome. So Sandy Spring also has been fairly innovative since the beginning of its time, right? I mean, they've always been kind of ahead of the times in terms of inclusion of people and things like that, right? I mean, they're truly about the community in all aspects of that, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm a big history buff, so I love historical stuff. Sandy Spring was one of the first banks in the country to allow women to have their own bank account separate from their husbands.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's interesting.
So, and it's even in their founding charter that everybody's welcome to have an account. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it didn't matter. If everybody was welcome equally, to be treated equally, to have an account with Sandy Spring and to be a client with the bank.
That's amazing, especially considering the time period which Sandy Spring was founded, right? There wasn't any of that going on, so to have that be a part of that history, I mean, that's just incredible.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's no doubt Sandy Spring is an incredible bank. Let me ask you, you've been in the banking for quite some time, and you've worked for other organizations without naming names or anything. Why did you choose Sandy Spring?
So I've been in banking for 10 years, and over half of that career has been with Sandy Spring Bank.
Wow. Okay.
Part of the reason that I really appreciated in being with Sandy Spring is that Sandy Spring didn't want sales sharks. They weren't focused as a sales organization. They were focused as a service organization.
Do you mind elaborating? What do you mean when you say sales sharks?
So other companies that I've worked for and other companies I was offered positions with but turned down is that they wanted people to basically sell product.
Okay.
Sell. If the person had a problem, if they had a financial emergency, it was not our responsibility to fix it. It was just our responsibility to get them to buy something else. Sandy Spring had the opposite mentality. And part of their charters, or part of their principles, corporate values is take care of your clients.
Yeah.
It's nothing in our values says that selling is a priority with us. We are a bank, yes, but at the same time, we need to take care of the people in front of us. And that has always been the core value, and that's always how I've done business.
Yeah.
So it's really what drew me to Sandy Spring.
So
just take care of.
How does that differ from maybe some of these other companies, some of these other banks? Again, without naming names, because we don't want to throw anybody under the bus per se.
Right.
But how is that different from what some of these other organizations are doing, right? I mean, obviously, the clear answer there is that they're sell, right? But from a value standpoint, what's the big difference there?
So the big difference there is having the support. I mean, when you think about what is a bank or what is the financial institution, this is someplace where you're putting your money. Your money is your livelihood.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, I don't want to say money is the end-all, be-all, but at the same time, this is where you're responsible to pay your mortgage, to pay your electric bill, to put food on the table for your family. And if your bank doesn't support you, if your bank can't help you when you need help to feed your family, to take care of your kids, then what good is it?
Right.
You don't want to go to another bank or another bank and then be told, say, hey, I need a solution, and be told, okay, buy this product.
Right.
You know, you want to be able to go to a bank and say, I need a solution, and then have them lay out options, you know, that work within what you need.
Absolutely. So obviously their process is different than other banks out there. Let me ask you this: why is it important for me, let's say, a consumer, to have a good relationship with a banker like you?
So bottom line is, back to what I said before, is that when you're dealing with your money and your livelihood, you need to have somebody you can trust. Mm-hmm. Somebody who can look at the larger picture with you and get to understand what you need, and then kind of create a personalized,
as opposed to
system.
just dumping a whole bunch of products at me.
Right. I mean, in terms of product, every bank is going to have the same product. Everybody has checking accounts. Everybody has savings accounts. Everybody has CDs.
Right.
You can go to any bank, walk in the door, and say, I need to get a mortgage, or I need to get a loan of some kind. I mean, every bank has the same product.
Right.
The question is the person on the other side of the desk looking at your overall picture and recommending whether a product is right for you or not?
Yeah.
Or is that person looking at you saying, you don't need this? Like, I get that's what you want, but bottom line is you don't need this. This is a better option for you. Yeah. It's a good relationship with your banker can lead towards that level of trust.
Gotcha.
And just lead towards basically being a service provider or just a service, somebody who's providing solutions and benefit, right?
Yeah.
Right. Just to give a little quick example, I had a client whom, as far as everything is concerned on paper, mom, who is 94 years old, is the only person that legally we're supposed to be able to talk to. But with mom in the room with me, the daughter is there helping. And so mom gave me permission to speak to the daughter, and I work with the daughter to assist mom in everything that she needs. That is because I have built a level of trust with mom, and that's because I have built a level of trust with these clients that they know that I can help them when they need help, and that I can answer their questions, I can do the things that they need to get done, and that's because I know their situation. And then as a banker, I have tried to create and understand the bigger picture.
Yeah. So with the pandemic and everything else that's going on right now, are you guys doing anything different? How are you serving your customers? How are your customers reaching out to you? Obviously, not a lot of people are comfortable walking, in the door to ask for a service. So what are you guys doing differently now than you were, I don't know, a little over a year ago?
We've utilized all the same technologies as everybody else. We've been doing a lot more Zoom calling. We've been doing a lot more FaceTiming. Our clients, we've been using them through our drive-through locations. Fortunately, we have a drive-through so that they can come in person, but without having to leave the safety of their vehicle.
But just to clarify, so as a consumer, I can schedule a Zoom meeting with you as the banker, and you can handle my transactions.
Absolutely.
Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. And then
That's
I have a large number of clients where I've gotten comfortable enough where actually I know who they are when they call, because I can recognize their voice.
Right.
And I can just talk to them over the phone and help them out that way.
That's awesome.
So,
I honestly didn't think that banks would actually do that. I know a lot of companies, are doing the Zoom calls, but people that have their doors open, like I don't expect, a retailer store to get on a Zoom and find a product for me, for instance. And the majority of us look at banks the same way. We look at we'll look at banks as just the product is the need for that product and nothing more. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
I think that things are changing, right? I think that whole industry is changing. And actually, that was kind of leading into what my next question is what do you see changing, right? I mean, Gus mentioned the pandemic, and obviously you mentioned that there's some things that you guys have adapted to in terms of technology, right? What do you see as the future of banking, right? I mean, everybody's doing a lot more online banking. They're doing a lot more mobile deposits, things like that. Mm-hmm. What do you see is the future for an organization like Sandy Spring, where you guys are so hyper-focused on the customer, which is a wonderful thing? Do you see anything changing for you guys?
Of course. I mean, there's always change, and you have to adapt with the times. Now, granted, I'm not high enough on the totem pole to know these ideas and decisions. Not yet. I'm not there yet. Right. I'm still working on that. I'm like the ground that the totem pole's planted in right now. But the changes that I see coming is that we still, yes, we want to offer the online option, and we do, just like all the other big banks out there. We have all the same technological services that they can provide. The flip side of it, though, is that we still have that hands-on touch to each person, meaning like you can have somebody who can go online and start an account or start the process for creating a loan and start that online.
Yeah.
But that gets passed to a local office where somebody will call you and talk to you personally to make sure we understand that this is the right thing and that it is you.
Right.
So we're trying to integrate both because we still need to keep that level, that service level, and that touch contact. Not physical, but we still need to keep that. We still need to keep that contact.
Here's what I'll tell you, man. I think that's a beautiful thing because if there's one thing I've learned, especially over the course of the last year, products and services are great, but I think that what we all are looking for is a little bit of that human connection, right? So I think it's fantastic that you guys are doing that.
Absolutely. One of the reasons we really got so excited about having you on the show is because, as you know, Dave and I are in the service industry, and we're all about that human connection, and we know that you're no different.
Oh.
And Sandy Spring, as the organization, is no different, and they're all about that personal human connection.
Right.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Before we end this episode, real quick, what would you say your most common product today?
Honestly, right now, I would have to say it's the most common product is a home equity line of credit for lending and just our free checking accounts.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We're actually going to discuss other products in future episodes. I was just curious to see, what people are looking for now, with the pandemic and everything else. I think that's great. All right. If you guys have any questions, if you'd like us to discuss other topics, if you have any comments, anything that you'd like to share with us, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. We'd love to answer your questions. Dave, what would you like to add?
That's it, Matt. Thank you so much for being with us, man. It's always so good to see you.
I'm glad to be here, guys.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys as well.
Absolutely. So, all right. So this concludes this episode, and thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.